Evan Harper once lived a life many would envy, surrounded by wealth, status, and privilege. His family owned everything, from towering skyscrapers to vast estates. Everything he touched turned to gold, but sometimes even the richest empires can crumble. For Evan, the fall came fast and without warning, but one day it all came crashing down. A series of bad investments, lawsuits, and a market crash stripped his family of everything. His father, once a symbol of power, was now a man broken by his own failures. With his family's empire in ruins, Evan was left with only one choice: fight to survive or sink with the rest. Evan knew he couldn't live in the shadow of his father's downfall. The world had chewed him up and spat him out, but instead of giving in, Evan made a bold decision. If he couldn't rebuild his family's empire through honest means, he would do it by any means necessary. A plan began to form, one that would change his life forever. A heist, a flawless crime that would make him a legend. But even a mastermind needs the right team. Sophie, a brilliant hacker, could crack any security system. Leo, the muscle, had the strength to deal with any obstacle. And Maria, a smooth driver with nerves of steel, could get them in and out undetected. Together, they would make the perfect crew. The plan was simple. The target? A priceless diamond, locked away in a high-security vault. With Sophie disabling the security system, Leo handling the guards, and Maria providing the getaway, they were ready for a heist that would be remembered for years. There was only one problem. Evan knew something felt off. Something wasn't right, but there was no turning back now. This was his shot at redemption. As the final preparations were made, the plan was set into motion. Evan's heart raced. He knew the risks, but it didn't matter. There was no room for doubt now. The perfect heist awaited, and nothing, not even his growing unease, could stop him from pulling it off. Tonight, Evan would either rise from the ashes of his past or fall deeper into a world of crime he couldn't escape. The perfect heist, the perfect plan. Everything had led to this moment. But in the world of crime, nothing is ever truly certain.
Tonight, everything is set. The team has trained for this moment, and the plan is flawless. Sophie has already hacked into the security system. Leo is ready to handle any guard, and Maria knows the perfect getaway route. Everything is in place. The heist that will make them legends is about to begin. But even a perfect plan can unravel. Like shadows, they slip into the building. Sophie ensures the cameras are blind, while Leo moves with silent efficiency. Maria leads them through the back door, and they're in. The first hurdle is cleared. But in a world where perfection is the goal, nothing is ever truly flawless. The vault opens, the diamond, gleaming, priceless, is within their grasp. The plan is going perfectly, but Evan feels it. That nagging doubt. Everything has been too smooth, too easy, yet there is no time to second guess. The prize is right there. The first crack in the plan. A siren, distant but unmistakable. The alarms begin to buzz in Sophie's earpiece. It's too soon. Something is wrong. They can't afford to hesitate. They have to move quickly. But with every second that passes, doubt tightens its grip. The unthinkable happens. The security system resets. Everything they had deactivated is now back online. Panic begins to set in as the building goes into lockdown. The exit routes are sealed. The guards are now alert. And the heist is falling apart. And then the truth hits. Maria, their trusted ally, the one they believed was loyal, is the mastermind behind their downfall. It wasn't a glitch in the system. It wasn't a coincidence. Maria had been working with the authorities all along, feeding them every detail. The betrayal is complete, and there's no turning back. With nowhere to go, the only choice is to fight. Evan and his team must scramble to escape. The perfect heist is now a deadly race against time. As Maria watches from the shadows, the stakes have never been higher. Trust has been broken. Now, survival is the only thing that matters. The escape is just the beginning. The heist might be over, but the consequences are far from done. Betrayal, danger, and a chase that will change everything. The heist was going perfectly. Every move was calculated, every obstacle carefully avoided. The diamond was within their grasp, and success seemed certain. But even the most flawless plans can be undone in an instant. The first crack appeared when the sirens began to wail in the distance. Sophie's face went pale as the sound of approaching law enforcement echoed in her earpiece. Something wasn't right. The perfect plan was starting to crumble, but the true betrayal came from within. Maria, the trusted member of the team, had been working with the authorities from the beginning. The smile she gave Evan was not one of an ally, but of someone who had already won. Evan's world came crashing down as the truth hit him like a ton of bricks. With the police closing in, the team had no choice but to run. The escape plan, once flawless, now seemed like a dream. Betrayal had sealed their fate, and survival became their only priority. But Maria had played them all along. The chase was on. The perfect heist had turned into a deadly race for survival. With the police just steps behind them, Evan and his team had no choice but to push forward, no matter what the cost. With the diamond lost and the police closing in, Evan realized something worse had happened. The trust he had placed in Maria had been the ultimate lie. He had been the one who'd been played all along. As they stared each other down, Evan knew one thing. He would never let her get away with this. The final shot shows Evan and his team running toward the exit, their bodies tense with fear but determination fueling their movements. The camera lingers on Evan's face as he glances back at the empty parking garage, the